Hello, Jer Jams. Your adventure starts here. It is a beautiful 85-degree January day here in Buenos Aires. Today, I am taking you on a venture of Paseo El Rosedal, which is actually termed here as most locals as the Rose Garden. It is a beautiful 3.4 hectare park that is located here in Palermo. I'm going to tell you a little bit of some details about it, show you some beautiful roses that are here, and all the amazing and incredible things you can do leisure-wise in this park. So, want to join me on this adventure? Shall you? This beautiful 3.4 hectare park is actually situated at the avenues of Libertador and Sarmiento avenues. Now, the Rose Garden is surrounded by a beautiful lake, which I will show you in just a moment. And there's an absolutely fabulous track that surrounds it that rollerbladers use, joggers and walkers alike. This is a better map to kind of orient yourself to this beautiful park. It kind of breaks it down a little bit in more detail, so we will close in a little bit on it. And as you see here, Paseo El Rosedal. Now you have a Greek bridge, you have Lake Pergola, you have the pier, you have a pavilion with sculptures, you have the beautiful rose garden of over 18,000 roses of 1,000 varieties. The island, you have an Andalusian patio. You do have baños here, which are toilets, which is great. And then you have the entrance. So it kind of breaks it down on this map to give you a really good idea of what this park surrounds. And so let's take you to some of the beautiful features that this park has to offer. This is actually the official entrance to the park, which is just down from Sarmiento. And as you make your way towards the wrought iron gates, you will look ahead. You have a series of fountains. There's a large one in the front, and then there's three that follow that fountain that lead you up to a beautiful rose garden. Because of the essence and the beauty of this particular park, one of the things you'll see is it's a very popular spot for photographers who want to have people get excellent picture packages of this beautiful surrounding to keep as a lasting memory forever. There are 18,000 roses in this park of 1,000 species. Every July is pruning season, and neighbors and tourists will come to the park when the gardeners will prune, so that way they can get flowers, and it helps the park reproduce for the next season. In 2012, the park received the Golden Excellence Award by the World Federation of Rose Societies. Here we are now at the Andalusian patio, and I'm going to zoom over. This is a very beautiful patio situated within a wooded section of the park. Really is beautiful. It's got a fountain within inside of it, and I almost think that kind of like the lighting fixtures look a little bit Japanese to me, but this is really beautiful. It's surrounded by beautiful brick, and you've got tiles here that surround the stairs that lead up to this beautiful patio. As you make your way up, you've got a beautiful fountain that separates the patio. No places to sit. I think that would be the only drawback, unless you sit around the actual fountain itself. But a very beautiful patio to get some excellent photo opportunities as well. This is another part of Lake Pergola here. You have another beautiful wrought iron bridge here that would be excellent for any photo opportunities. You have palm trees that surround the entire park, but this lake stretches almost from the very beginning of the park, the whole length of the park, and I will show you a little bit of the wideness of this lake here in just a moment. But this is another beautiful feature of the park. In addition to the Andalusian patio, you have this beautiful wrought iron bridge for excellent photo opportunities. Where I am standing now is on a terrace that's surrounded also by roses, and the lake is behind me, and this terrace leads up to a bridge that's going to cross over the lake, which stretches a good portion of the park. Now, one thing I didn't mention as of yet is actually this park used to be an estate of an individual. It used to be the estate of Juan Manuel de Rosas until he was defeated in the Battle of Ciceros, and that was in 1852. So you can imagine owning a beautiful piece of property like this with all these awesome roses that surround it. That's pretty breathtaking and pretty amazing if you think about it. This is a wonderfully architectural bridge that actually crosses over the lake. So that way you can go from one side to the park, which goes from the Rose Garden and stretches over to the track, which surrounds the entire park. Now, as we take a walk here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, this was actually the terrace that I just walked from, which is kind of long. And again, you have the Rose Garden over here, and you can see some signs of that. If you're looking for the baños or bathrooms, they are in that direction. I will show you where those are in another video here, posted very closely. But right now, we're gonna take a walk up this bridge, and I'm gonna show you the awesome view that you can get from this bridge to see the park in its entirety. And this is another excellent picture spot for people. As you can see, it's surrounded by tile. Over here on this side of the bridge, you have paddle boats, which you can actually rent, and obviously they are very popular on the weekends with a lot of kids and families and such. And on this side of the park, on the other side of the paddle boats, on the back side of the park, there's actually what used to be a train station, and there's restaurants, and I'm going to show you that here in just a moment as well. But if you flip over from this bridge, here is the other side of the park. As you can see, lake surrounds a good portion of the park and goes all the way around. And like I said, there are plenty of ducks that you will see as you walk through the park. You can kind of see the paved track which surrounds the park. It goes the whole distance of the park, so it's excellent for walking, jogging, rollerblading. Exercise classes are conducted in this park as well. It's just an excellent place to be for a lot of leisure and fun and activities here in Palermo. As you come down from the big bridge that crosses over the lake, you have a sign of the hours of the park that tell you exactly when you can come and enjoy this beautiful park. In the summertime, you can enjoy this park from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. In the wintertime, you can enjoy this park from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. You're not allowed to swim in the lake. All dogs must be watched. They don't have to be on a leash, but they need to be watched. You cannot cut the flowers or the branches, which I did mention in the summertime. They will cut the flowers and give them to tourists when the pruning season begins, and no bicycles or skates. Now, just to the right of that, you've got what I mentioned is you can rent these paddle boats, which are very popular with people here. It's a nice leisurely activity. You can go out and kind of cool off over the lake, and you'll see a lot of families and individuals and maybe couples doing this as well. So it's a great leisurely activity to do while you're in the park. Now, if you notice the couple in the back on the paddle boat, they are wearing masks. In the city of Buenos Aires, it is not required to have masks at this time, only in very limited areas as well. Lastly, about the paddle boats, you have two different styles of paddle boats in which you can rent. This is a two-person paddle boat with no top on it. If you have a family, maybe you're a family of 3 or 4, you can also rent paddle boats with a canopy on the top to kind of protect yourself from the sun, or if you have a family instead of 2 individuals. Now, just down from the paddle boat station, if you're hungry, you have a place you can get some food, and they have tables and tents here that you actually can sit at to enjoy that. This particular stand has empanadas, hot dogs, and drinks and burgers. So you can actually get something to eat while you're here if you're still hungry. If you want something of a bigger fare than just burgers and empanadas and maybe a Coke, I'm going to show you a place that you can get some wonderful choices of restaurants after you're done enjoying this amazing park. Now, on the south end of the park, just down from the paddle boats and what I just showed you of kind of like a snack bar where you can get burgers You can get empanadas, you can get a hot dog or maybe a Coke. But if you're not feeling those things and you're like, I really want something a little bit more than just snacks, this used to be an old train station, and you'll see Trenos Argentinos. The train will actually go over this track, but there's a series of restaurants that actually are on this end of the park, and I'm going to show those to you now. Here is Trenos Argentinos that's crossing over the restaurants that I just mentioned. This train is available for city travel and also long-term travel, but if you're looking to make long-term travel, you really have to make your reservations early, because if you're going to places like the beach or maybe you're going south, reservations can take up to 3 months in advance. So keep that in mind when you book train travel here in Argentina. One of the reasons this park is so popular with locals and even tourists, I think it's because of the simple fact the population of Buenos Aires and all the communes combined is almost in excess of 17 million people. And therefore, if you live within the city yourself, it's hard to find places to get out and see a little bit of green, because you're surrounded by high rises everywhere you pretty much go, tons of traffic, tons of people, so it can be kind of like a concrete jungle. So it's excellent to get to places like this, that you have a resource like this. It's a great park, and there's several of them in Palermo. Also check out my other video of Parque Las Heras. That's another excellent park here in Palermo. Palermo has a lot more nature than some of the other communes of Buenos Aires, but this particular park is fantastic. It's excellent in size. It's very popular on the weekends. You'll see a lot of people on the weekends that come and do a lot of sorts of activities, whether it be rollerblading, biking, renting paddle boats, just coming out to take a chill, sipping on mate. It's an excellent place to go. Now, from this angle and view from the south end of the park, you can easily see and tell the magnitude of the size of this park. It is ginormous. At 3.4 hectares, it is a ginormous park. There is only one drawback from this park. And it is the one thing that I think the city of Buenos Aires should really focus on with this park is there is only 2 sets of baños, which are bathrooms, in this entire park. And I'm gonna show those to you now. If you look as far as you can see, and I'm gonna zoom in just a little bit here, and I'm gonna get up on them a little bit. If you look at as far as you can see with the camera angle, you'll see a pavilion down there. That is actually where the restrooms are. So this creates a problem if you're on the northern end of the park, the east side of the park, or the west side of the park, because the ginormous size of this park. Now, if you're walking this track, I will tell you at a moderate pace, it takes you 35 minutes to walk the entire length of this park. And that's at a moderate pace. If you jog, it might be a little bit quicker. If you bike, it might be a little bit different. But if you're just walking this park, 35 minutes is what it's gonna take you to walk this entire park. So if you have to go to the restroom, you have one option available to you, which is those baños down there. Now, however, on the other side of life, behind me, you have these restaurants. But here's the thing about most restaurants in Buenos Aires. They do a trick, people. And the trick is that if you want to go to the bathroom, you have to purchase a product in the restaurant. So you go to Starbucks, walk in, trying to go to the bathroom will be locked. And sometimes they come with codes. So you have to get the code from the cashier when you purchase a product. So if you're looking to go to the bathroom and the back half of the park in these restaurants, you're gonna have to purchase a product or maybe get some food before they'll allow you to go to the restroom. As I mentioned before, no matter where you walk in the park, whether it's the northern end of the park, the southern end of the park, or maybe you're just surrounding the lake itself, which is right over there, you're gonna find these ducks everywhere. There is so many of them in this park. And like I said, mainly they're feeding. They usually will be in groups or bulk. As long as you don't interact with them too much like this kid is doing right now, if you don't bother them, they won't bother you. They're very friendly, but if you interrupt them in any certain way, they could chase you. So something to keep in mind, but they're very friendly for the most part. They make for excellent photo opportunities as well as you enjoy this beautiful park. If you're looking for places to park when you come here with your car, if you do have a car, naturally you can take one of the Argentina taxis, or if you have your own car, you can park here. Now the parking lots, this one here is by the US Embassy. There is another one at the far end of the park down by the train station and the restaurants. And the last one I'm going to show you here momentarily is the next parking lot, where if you have a car, you can park your car while you enjoy this amazing park. Just across from the entrance of the park, this is the second biggest parking lot where if you have a car, you can park your car if you want to enjoy this park. This is probably the largest parking lot in the whole entire park. You have one on the south end, which is down by the restaurants and the train depot, and you have one which I also showed you, which is just across the street from the US Embassy. This one here is the largest one. This bumps up to Sarmiento and Libertador Avenue. So there you have it, Chair Jams. A wonderful adventure of a beautiful park here in Palermo, Paseo El Rosedal, better known from the locals as the Rose Garden. Beautiful park here in Palermo. Hey, if you like this video, like and subscribe, hit that bell, let you know notifications of any videos I have coming up. Please watch my other videos, subscribe to my channel. I've done some great videos of Parque Las Heras, this beautiful video, and I have much more to come. Food reviews, places to see here in Buenos Aires, sights, and amazing adventures. Always remember though, the only opportunity you ever missed was the one you never took. This is Jeremy with Jerry Jams, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.